After discussing the concept of agriculture, different type of agriculture, along with the main cropping season and the main crops which are grown in India, under which environmental conditions and geographical conditions they are grown. Now let's discuss the problems faced by the Indian agriculture and what all has been done by the government to bring reforms in our Indian agricultural system. Basically, if we have to reform something, it is very essential that we must know the problems related to agriculture. If we see lack of proper land reform measures, means our land holdings are very small. There was a zamindari system, and therefore there is a need to do something related to land reforms. Credit facilities were lacking. Farmers find it very difficult to take loans from the banks because they have to go through number of documentation. Farmers which are poor and backward, they have no idea related to fertilizers or what all researches have been done in the field of agriculture. As I told you, land holdings are small, so they are uneconomic too. Irrigation facilities are inadequate. Farmers are suffering due to defective marketing facilities. They are in dilemma. The connected people are earning more than the farmer who is doing or who is toiling day and night. Soil erosion is another problem faced by our farmers. Very common, as you saw in the previous month, the attack by locust. So in this way, pest and different plant diseases also pose problem in front of our farmers. Now, what is basically agrarian reform? It is a reform and development of complementary institutional framework such as administrative agencies of the national government, rural education and social welfare institutions who take steps to educate our farmers. It means remedifying, that is bringing out solution, not only the defect in the distribution and use of land, but also and especially accompanying human relations regarding lands, including economic, social and political relations. If we see the different technological and institutional reforms, our first point was that our land holdings are small and uneconomic. When our land holdings are small and uneconomic, what was required? Land consolidation. That is, bringing the land of different farmers together, pooling them together, their resources pooling together, and profit being distributed among them. That is also known as collectivization. Then, in the previous old time movies, you must have seen that our farmers have suffered in the hands of zamindars. So, abolition of zamindari system. There was a practice where the zamindars used to give loans, and the families of the farmers, years after years, ages after ages, used to work under the zamindar in free, hardly knowing that how much loan was taken and how much has been repaid. Introducing green and white revolution. Green revolution is related to the growth of crops, where farmers were provided with high yielding variety of seeds and different kind of irrigation facilities, fertilizers, etc. White revolution, which was directly related to milk production. Kisan credit card scheme, that is giving loans to the farmers. Crop insurance against crop failure to secure the farmers. The crop insurance facilities have been started. Weather bulletins from time to time to make aware the farmers that what kind of weather they are going to face, whether the rain will be sufficient, not sufficient, so that they can be equipped with irrigation facilities. Educating the farmers, most important, and from the government side, announcing or giving minimum support price for different crops. Now, as I told you, that the abolition of zamindari system was one of the action which was taken by the government. So, what is it about? Zamindars, talukdars, jagirs, inams, they had dominance in agricultural sector before independence. Soon after independence, what happened? Measures for abolishing the zamindari system was adopted, and first act to abolish was passed in Madras in 1948. As a result of this abolition, what happened? Crores of tenants and estimated to have come into direct contact with the state, making them owners of land. That is when they were working for zamindars on one hand, but now they started working for themselves. They had their own land. So it has led to the end of a parasite class. Next is, as I told you, Green Revolution, also known as seed, water, fertilizer, pesticide technology. Started in 1965, government of Mrs. Indira Gandhi. It was applied in the period from 1967 to 1978, basically in Punjab and Haryana. At this stage, the Green Revolution was concerned only with wheat and rice. Dr. M.S. Swaminathan from India led the Green Revolution as the project. Advantages of Green Revolution, as you all know: agricultural operations on a large scale, production went up, plants have become resistant to pests and pesticides, the need to fallow land is eliminated. That is, the way the agriculture is done, naturally we don't have to leave our land barren in order to gain fertility. Automation in the process of farming, that is introduction of machines, ability to grow any crop anywhere, and more profitable farming industry after the Green Revolution. So this is the end of the chapter. I hope the concepts are clear, and if any doubt, you are all welcome to ask it.